Hi, this is Rachel at Tarot Dreams, and I believe that there are signs and synchronicities in our daily lives that are meant to provide us with a deeper understanding on our spiritual path and guide us in this experience. I'd like to share some of my insights and messages that I have received through intuition, dreams, foresight, and various channeled energies. I want to thank you so much for visiting my platform, and should you have any questions or want to share your experiences or give me different interpretations of what you think some of the signs are that I'm seeing, drop it in the comments, or don't hesitate to email me, which you can find my email in the description box. Once again, thank you for visiting my platform, and just know that I appreciate you all. And we're going to go ahead and get started, and let's unfold what I have seen this week. Thank you so much. As we go ahead and begin to unfold this week, I wanted to touch base with, I know I'm running a little bit late. My puppy of 16 and a half years passed away. And she passed away on Sunday. She's been fighting canine dementia, but she fell really ill the last 3 or 4 days before she passed. And she always rebounds, but this time she didn't. So it's been a really rough week. And I've also been fighting like red-tailed hawks and Cooper hawks that have been really going after my birds. So it has been a very trying week. And I do have my notes, and some of them are a little bit sketchy because I didn't get to do a lot of the investigative work on some of the signs and symbols that I was receiving. And as most of you know, I'm a harbinger. I am a person that shows that something is going to happen soon. Sometimes it can be considered bad, sometimes good. A harbinger is a person or a thing. Like if it's a robin signifies is a harbinger of the spring. Sometimes harbingers do and are known as, heralds of doom and things of that nature. But when I was younger, and I'll just share this real quick, I have had premonition dreams all my life, and I honestly do believe that the divine doesn't give you more than what you can handle. God just doesn't give you more than what you can handle. And when I was about 19, one of my spirit guides stepped forward, Native American Indian, and he gave me a snake, and it was a harbinger that bad things were going to happen. And depending upon how that snake acted in the dream or the size of it, I could determine what was going to happen, who it was going to interact with, and if it was in fact a death. So as time went on, I began to see things almost in like a timeline, I guess you could say, and things would change. Now that's not a harbinger, and it's not a timeline shift per se. Some of it could be considered, it wasn't from a higher consciousness, but it was a timeline of transformation. So there have been a lot of things of that nature going on within this last week, and I probably won't be able to touch base with it all, but I am going to give you some of the highlights of what I was picking up. Now, I did start picking up, I believe it was either Monday or Tuesday. I didn't really understand this one at first, but thanks to an individual on X who actually happens to be a YouTube influencer and a very talented writer. I do not read his type of fandom literature. However, he is pretty much well established. I'm going to horribly mispronounce his name. I always read it as Razor Fist, but I think it's Razor Feist or something like that. But on Monday or Tuesday, I had seen a black puma, which I didn't understand because pumas usually aren't black. So I questioned it. I was like, and I started looking up like panthers and things, and I kept getting no, and I kept hearing no puma. And it was black, so I really didn't sit too well with that. So I kind of pushed that energy off to the side. Well, as I was, cruising through X during some of my downtime, I saw, I'm going to go ahead and pronounce it Razor Feist or Razor Fist. I don't know. God, he'll never catch this video. If he does, I really, really am apologizing for mispronouncing it. I'm just going to say Razor Fist. He posted a picture of the, I believe it was Superstition Mountains, and apparently there is a black shadow of a puma. Now, I would not ever have guessed that it was a shadow that I was seeing. I just saw it as a black puma. Well, it turns out that the Superstition Mountains, there was a siphon fire, and now I don't believe he touched on that. He was just throwing up the picture, the image of the puma. I went further than that and started looking into Superstition Mountains because I've not ever heard of them before, and I started researching it, and when I did, I found out that there had actually been a siphon fire that had started, and I was shocked. I had to look up siphon fire, to be honest with you, and it's an intentional fire. I believe as of today, it is 58% contained, and they've lifted some of the evacuation orders, but it burned through over 15,000 acres, I believe. So that was really, really upsetting, but when I was looking through it, I did find out that those mountains actually rumble, and they sound like rolling thunder. So now I put that on my wish list of a place that I do wish to go. The White Mountain Apaches actually call it the home of the thunder gods. So I do hope that they get it completely under containment, and they find out, they are saying that it was intentional, so I do hope that they find the individuals who said it. What I also found interesting is because I had been seeing a camel. Now, with the camel, I've been touching with that a lot lately, and it seemed almost repetitive because I still kept seeing that needle and everything else. Well, there was a weaver's needle trail that was also part of the Superstition Mountain area. So I started really getting into seeing the camel more and more. And there was definitely a lot to that because with the camels, they go long distances and they hold water. They can go without nourishment, but they have they can see at a great distance, and they make possible, they make desert travel possible when it would be literally impossible. So they are very lofty creatures and things of that nature, but they also mean their wisdom, understanding, and perseverance. And what I really get is with them is trust the rhythm of life. They make the impassable passable. They are a symbol of endurance, persistence, resilience, along with adaptation, respect, safety, stubbornness, survival, balance and patience. And as most of you know, I really have been getting a lot with balance lately, and that's more along the lines of because what we're in. Now, I also was getting something, and I had to look it up with 2 moons. And the only thing that I could find close to that, and I'm not even sure this is going to be what it meant, but I am getting 2 moons a lot, is there is an asteroid called PT5 that actually will be in our gravitational zone or orbiting our planet for 53 days, beginning September 29th and going through November 25th. I do believe it dips back in briefly in January. It's not that big. It's only 33 feet wide. Now, what I found interesting about that is that what I was seeing with the 2 moons, and then what I seen after I found the information on the 2 moons, is asteroid mining. And I do believe that that would be a solid, I'm not a financial investor, but I do believe that asteroid mining will be a thing in the future, as these asteroids, there's a whole belt of them, are rich with minerals. And they also have, I guess it's water or liquid that could be used as rocket fuel. So there is definitely wealth in space, and I was definitely getting that, which led me to some things that Mr. T had spoke about, which I won't get into right now. And yes, I do, and I am aware that I had mentioned before something about the 15th on, and that we were getting into that lunar eclipse energy, and which actually is tonight, the 17th. The second attempt happened with Mr. T on the 15th, which we started getting that type of energy. I think it started beginning around, it usually starts a week before, so it does not surprise me, because it did not surprise me. Now, I did want to, I'm going to skip back to that in a little bit, but I wanted to bring up the Mothman. Yes, I did see the Mothman again, and the Mothman, the first time I seen him, because I've seen him twice, and this is going to be a difference here. The first time I seen him, I learned directly thereafter, within several hours, that there had been major flooding in North Carolina, which usually when I see the Mothman, it has something to do with water and floods, or it has something to do with a natural disaster. The majority of the time, it's flooding or bridges or things of that nature, and natural disasters. But it always tends to deal with or in and around water. Now, this morning, I seen Mothman again, and I thought, why am I seeing Mothman? And then I noticed that Mothman was combined with a viper. So I do believe that there will be an underwater attack. Something evil or something just maleficent is going to happen, dealing with water. And I'm going to say that, it could be something shot underneath water, because I've been picking up sonar a lot as well. So, underwater long-range missiles is not saying no. I'm not hearing no, but I am definitely hearing something to do with underwater with the Mothman and the Viper combined. Now, I was also seeing 3 masks, which I was getting as 3 storms as well, and those, not the masks slipping, that was something different, and that is happening, and that's in progress now, which I will get to that in a few moments. But there is now a storm in Shanghai. So we had the storm in North Carolina, and we have the storm in Shanghai. So I am anticipating quite another storm. Does that have anything to do with the Mothman and the Viper? I don't think so. The Mothman does pertain to water, but these were storms. The Viper and the Mothman would be something man-made. It is not going to be natural. In other words, it won't be through Gaia. It's going to be something that was man-made. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm picking up there. If you think it means something else, drop it below. I'm interested in hearing it, but I'm also hearing war drums as I speak now. I got to push that aside because I could touch on that at some other time if there is enough time. Not today, but what I was also getting was, let's see, before I lose track again, I was getting with the celestial bodies, the revolution. Oh, I'm not going to touch on that now. I was getting a mole. Now, I got this before the incident took place with Mr. T, okay? And I was picking up a mole, and I do believe that there is a mole. I don't know if it will ever be proven or not, but I do believe there's a mole. And if I had to guess who could be involved with that, it would just be a guess. It wouldn't be anything that was given to me through spirit, but I would definitely investigate LG, okay? That's just my thing there. Now, I was picking up, let's see, yeah, I was picking up spy stuff and all that too, and that was before, and like I said, I know I'm a little bit late, that was before all the things took place on the 15th, so I really won't touch on that. I know a lot of the things have already transpired, and like I said, I apologize for being late. I do believe that we are in for some things with Mr. T, and I am definitely getting that the worst is not over. And for instance, today, there's a lot of distractions going on. I have seen things with RFK Jr. and his wife Cheryl, and I am praying that some of those things don't come to pass either, but they are trying. So they just want to cause the chaos and the disruption. They are trying to tip the scales for something to happen, because at this point it is too big to rig, and they know that, and that's why you've seen Hillary come out and saying, to throw people for misinformation, and that there has to be a deterrent such as jail or things of that nature. She did this once before. I take it as they're really trying to put her out there and cause a big camouflage. Diddy got arrested, so there's gonna be a lot coming out there if he rolls. If not, he did not kill himself. But with that being said, she's out there as a smokescreen, going to be taking a lot of heat, because if anybody knows anything, some of the crimes she did, she should have been prosecuted. And that's one of the things Mr. T should have pursued, and he did not at that time. And he explained why. And if you don't know why, go back and listen to some of his interviews. Any rate, with that being said, there is a lot going on, and it is just going to ramp up. But I am anticipating, because of that Mothman and that Viper, that we are going to hear of something, and it is going to be man-made. Now, with the 3 mass things that I've seen, I really do believe they were storms, and we've got the one in North Carolina. We have the one going on in, I believe it's a typhoon, actually, in Shanghai. I'm anticipating one more, but we are going to have an underwater an underwater event or something to do with water. Could be a bridge. It's Mothman, but he's combined with a Viper. So that one's got me a little bit concerned, but I do anticipate that happening. The lunar eclipse is endings and transformational changes. And the thing about the lunar eclipses that you've got to know is those energies can go 6 months out. And we've got several happening, so it's all in progress now. And I do see, that we are really just need to, for lack of better terminology, batten down the hatches, because now's when they're going to be pulling out a lot of the stops. So it's not fair play. And that's what I believe a lot of people are starting to see now. You've got voter registrations that are literally turning places, red. And that's why they keep on dropping the immigrants into red areas, is so they can change the vote. They're not fooling anybody. Anybody that... they're figuring it out. I mean, God, they've given some people driver's license who can't drive, and they are doing it just because they need the vote, which is an illegal vote to begin with, and I'm not going to get on my bandwagon right now. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I know that this one was a little scattered, and I apologize for that, but I have been really... emotional, but you can expect some timeline shifts to occur. There's going to be one, I want to say the 29th, September 29th, which oddly enough is that PT5. Yeah, 2 moons. So I keep picking that up. I'm not real sure, but September 29th, I believe, until November, what did I say? November 25th, I believe. So within that time, I'm just going to say, from September 29th till November 5th, they're going to really be trying to tip the scales. So you're going to see timelines of transformations. You're going to see endings. And a timeline, you just basically want to know that... basically it's an order of events. Well, you can expect the events to start being way creative, and they're going to start getting way creative in the things and what they want to achieve. And with that being said, pray for the positive energy, because I believe the higher consciousness has spoken, and they're swinging. Devil always swings the hardest at the end, so especially when they're losing. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and I will catch you on my next one, and hopefully that one will be more organized. Take care, God bless, and I will see you soon.